Hey guys, Captain Henson here. So in today's video, I thought I would not only do my own take on the Killing Joke monologue, but also explain what it means to me. So, back in late 2000s, possibly early 2010s, I wasn't all too familiar with Batman. Now, I had at that point watched a handful of the films, the Nolan films. Actually, you know what? Yeah, it was probably late 2000s because at that point I want to say Dark Knight was either out at that time or it was a little before. I saw the Burton films, the Schumacher films. I'd watched some of the cartoons like The Batman, seen some of Batman 66. But in terms of comics and video games, I wasn't all that. I knew next to nothing. Hell, most of my knowledge would come from Lego Batman, the video game, and I think that came out in 2009. 2000, I think it was '09. Again, late 2000s. And, of course, around the early days of YouTube also. And I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but there is a video someone did. Someone, voice acted as the Joker, and it was a 3D animation of the monologue. I'll link that in the description below. And it blew me away. Because at the time, I didn't think the Joker was anything more than, well, what he always appeared to be. One of the greatest villains of all time, for one, but crazy. He's a psychopath. The monologue showed me a side of the Joker that up until that point I had never seen before, and even after, I have yet to see, honestly. Like, we kind of got it with Joker 2019, but not really. Not to that extent. Because we see a Joker, and as the monologue goes on, we see a Joker that's deep down depressed. And obviously, with the story, or with the greater graphic novel in mind, and us seeing the potential, though, between you and me, I believe that's what actually happened, backstory. He was a guy birthed out of just terrible shit happening, like one right after the other. But at the time, with just that video in mind, I didn't know that. So I didn't know why the Joker was getting all sad, especially as the monologue goes on. And it intrigued the hell out of me. It's like I said, I had never seen this side of the Joker ever. And honestly, I want to say that's a reason why I love the Joker so much, and why I want that backstory we get. Him having a pregnant wife, him being down on his luck, a failed comedian, his wife and child dying in a car crash, being the Red Hood for, one night, and then his entire life changing when he falls into the chemicals thanks to Batman. I like a Joker who, deep down, is depressed. He's hiding this depression, essentially, that behind all of the shit he does, all the laughing, all the killing and the mutilations, all the shit he does, deep down he's depressed. And he wants the world to see the world how he sees it because of his experiences. And I get a sense from the monologue that he wants Batman to also see the world the way he sees it, and that Batman is so close to it. Batman is already on the edge. And Joker obviously wants to push that. But not to Batman's directly. Show that the best of them, Jim Gordon, can have one bad day and be destroyed. And at the time, and at the point of this monologue, Joker doesn't know that Gordon didn't change. He's still the same. He even tells Batman, get him by the book. So, with all that said, I want to do my own take on the monologue. And hopefully I can do it justice. Because the one we got in the animated film can go fuck itself. Alright, let's see how I do.
So, I see you received the free ticket I sent you. I'm glad. I did so want you to be here. You see, it doesn't matter if you catch me and send me back to the asylum. Gordon's been driven mad. I've proved my point. I've demonstrated that there's no difference between me and everybody else. All it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive to lunacy. That's how far the world is from where I am. Just one bad day. You had a bad day once, am I right? I know I am. Why else would you dress up as a flying rat? You had a bad day, and it drove you as crazy as everybody else. Only you won't admit it. You have to keep pretending that life makes sense, that there's some point to all this struggling. God, you make me want to puke. I mean, what is it with you? What made you what you are? Girlfriend killed by the mob, maybe? Brother carved up by some mugger? Something like that, I bet. Something like that. Something like that happened to me once. I'm not exactly sure what it was. Sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes another. If I'm going to have a pass, I prefer to be multiple choice. My point is, I went crazy. When I saw what a black awful joke the world was, I went crazy as a coot. I admit it. Why can't you? I mean, you're not unintelligent. You must see the reality of our situation. Do you know how many times we come close to World War III over a flock of geese on a computer screen? Do you know what triggered the last World War? An argument over how many telegraph poles Germany owed its War Department creditors. Telegraph poles! It's all a joke. Everything anybody ever valued or struggled for. It's all a monstrous, demented gag. So why can't you see the funny side? Why aren't you laughing?